the consumer will see something that's completely different than what the bank sees by like 50 points. I don't know how you're going to score. If you score better, then it should come together a lot easier. So like there's 10 tier levels on how a customer will score. And so maybe you'll score on the 1, 2, 3 side, and it'll be a lot easier for us to produce for you. What I have to do is get the dealer to take the deal. I have a couple of doors to knock down, and one of them is getting the dealer on board, and the other one is getting the lender on board. So what I typically will say to the customer is visit the inventory, text me 2 or 3 stock numbers that you would consider, and then I have to go and make sure the values of those vehicles match what the dealer's asking, because it doesn't matter what dealership you go to in America. There is a chunk of everybody's inventory that is off. It's not right. It's out of whack in some way. So not everyone is going to work with the loan. So like if I cannot bring a van to the lender that has a $7,000 book and the dealer's asking 10. They're just not going to let, even if you have $2,500 down, they're just not going to let that happen. So there's no point going and driving that $10,000 van only to get your hopes up, only to get yourself let down. If you go push through and blunder through it really fast, you're just setting yourself up for a roller coaster ride. Now, I don't mind. I still have time to make or break this thing for you right now. I can do it. I can get it done, but it's going to be step by step, and we're going to marry the deal before you test drive, because when you test drive, if you like it, I'm telling you, the way I do it is 20 minutes paperwork. Information, you'll know the price, you'll know the book value, you'll know the payment, you'll know the dealer's on board, you'll know the lender's on board, that there's nothing stopping the deal. And that's the way to do it, because you don't want to just randomly take random chance test drives. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, it becomes a mess for the customer. And so, have you had a chance to look at the inventory? Are you going to be in between jobs? Because see, my job's to make sure the dealer gets paid, right? But when I have you come in, that deal's lined up and waiting. Like you can leave with the car. So what do you have right now? You said there's a trade. Tell me about that. Now at 1900, they're not gonna let you go over. Like they don't want it to go over 300. Like whatever I said. Yeah, like otherwise it would just be out of whack with your income. See what I can do for you. I will promise you, as soon as you give me the stock numbers of the couple vehicles that you'd consider, within 30 minutes, I will have that information back to you.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll save it and
Yeah. Send them. I'll try to get it done even faster. I'm going to start working on it now. Send me some stock numbers.